So my dad sent me a text message. He typically listens to the podcast. He said, "You mentioned 10 exercises. What are they?" All right, Dad. So these are the 10 exercises I was talking about. This is specifically for men, but also women, I feel like, can do these exercises, and it's obviously beneficial for you. The deadlift, back squat, bench press, dumbbell Romanian deadlift, which is, if you're watching on YouTube, right here, you put the weights down here and bring it up. Keep that core tight. Kettlebell swing, keep those arms, for the most part straight. Push up, pull up. Medicine ball slam. This is like a weird one. Also, I'm looking at this on like mensjournal.com. So medicine ball slam, that's a good one. Swiss ball rollout. All right, that's weird. And banded good morning. Farmer's walk. That's a fine one. Hamstring curl with the ball. But just basically anything that I think targets a lot of muscles on your body. You know, we don't need to be going into the gym once a week and just freaking doing bicep curls. Also, don't forget about the tricep, guys. You know, the tricep makes 60% of your arm, and it is almost more important than the bicep exercise. But anyway, I feel like my dad probably will call me back during this episode, so we'll look forward to it. And if he doesn't, then, Ted Jones. So I was watching this little YouTube video. As you guys know, I learn a ton of stuff on YouTube, and I hope you guys learn a ton of stuff on YouTube here as well. Ted Jones World YouTube channel. If you guys are watching on YouTube, yo, what is good? If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, hello, rate, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Amazon Music, how you doing? So I was watching this Metaverse video on YouTube, and just the idea of like virtual land, like ushering us into Web 3.0 is insane. So I saw that the Oculus was like one of the hot gifting items, or one of the, I guess for the most part, one of the items that people have been buying a lot for Christmas, whether this is like presents, maybe birthday around Christmas, but winter season, it's getting hot. And this woman spent 24 hours in the metaverse, and it was like an 8-minute YouTube video. You can do everything in the metaverse. I'm not really 100% sure though why you'd go to like a bar in the metaverse and get a drink. So that part is confusing me, but this one woman was in the metaverse for 24 hours. She did a number of different activities, went to like a workout class. She went to a comedy club, which I thought was one of the cooler things. So basically, she put on her headset, she went to a comedy club, and then as an avatar, she was watching somebody on stage, another avatar, like tell jokes and stuff. And there were like 50 people at the show, which was like a really cool thing to see. I think that this is going to be game changing for comedians in general, just because, like, as you guys can imagine, you know, when comedians go and do like a 7-10 minute set, it's a little bit difficult to make a ton of money doing that, you know, on a nightly basis. So I think like having these shows in the metaverse where anybody in the entire world can just come by putting on a headset and hear the same jokes, and then like once the avatars are more realistic and they look more like humans, I think that that's going to be a game changer. I mean, if you had played video games, let's say 20 years ago or something, this is for boys and girls, you'll notice how different the graphics are today. So if graphics in video games are anything remotely close to what they can be in VR or on your headset in the metaverse, it's going to be pretty hard to kind of tell the difference. You know, like if you Google the cover of like NBA 2K21, or maybe it's 2K22 that's coming out, or Madden, which is like a football game, any of these video games that have come out on the Xbox or the PlayStation 5, the graphics are just crazy. You know, like even PC games these days, you play COD, which is Call of Duty, Fortnite. I think the graphics are going to continuously getting better. And then this brings in a whole new aspect of like how you're going to pay for shit in the metaverse. You know, like I don't think dollars are going to be used for a very long time. Maybe each game would have their own crypto coin, something like this, or they can use something as basic as what we already have. Elon has talked about how Dogecoin can be like a useful coin or currency. I'm not really 100% sure how that works, so you know I won't talk too much about that topic. But I think like it was really crazy to see. Like I think one of the things that really jumped out to me when I saw this woman living in the metaverse rather, for 24 hours. It's just like the first step. Facebook it seems like the first company to jump into this, but wearing your Oculus and going to a comedy show is one of the crazier things I think I've heard. And I think this is going to help a lot of entertainers get rich. that's kind of how I feel. Instead of getting X amount of dollars for a 10-minute spot on one night, you can, 10X your money just from maybe people spending $3 to see your 10-minute set or something. And then, whatever, you have 100 people there, whatever it is. I think that virtual content is going to be very important in the future as we approach this episode here, episode 199 of the Ted Jones World Podcast. I'm coming up to the YouTube camera here because I'm not sure if it's straight. You guys tell me if it's straight. I think it is actually kind of straight. It's just like a little bit crooked, but whatever. We'll fix it there, guys. 200 episodes as I take these headphones off. Pretty exciting. We've had so many amazing guests here. I'd say, at least like 60 guests here on this couch. It's been amazing. And look to continue to do this in the year 2022. So today is almost the new year. What's today? Thursday the 30th. So there are 31 days in December. And, we're looking to end this year with a bang. 2022 coming in hot with episode 200. It's going to be fun. Guys, check out the Ted Jones vlog on the Ted Jones World YouTube channel. If you have not, shoot me an idea, tedjonesworld@gmail.com, Ted Jones World on Instagram. Always looking for fun, new ideas to do. We're going to Hudson Yards tomorrow, so look for that vlog next week. But just always looking to do fun stuff because that really just gets me going. There's nothing like acting like a kid. You guys know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to act like a kid. Not always. You mix it in there like of silly stuff and then, also adult stuff. I feel like if you're one way too heavy, it's just like it gets annoying. Like you don't want to be serious all the time, right? Even you seriously smart people out there, like you don't enjoy being serious all the time. Like being upright in your suit and tie and like not being able to tell a joke, whatever. You guys got to be yourself. So, I don't know. This is like really one of the cooler things, though, this Oculus. I've never even thought about getting one, but as those headsets become less clunky, you see it's like a full thing over your face. It's like a full mask. You can't even really move around, I don't think, that much. I mean, you could do workout classes in it, so maybe you can work out move around in it, but like I wonder what it's going to be like. Are people going to be going to bars that are like virtual? Like you go to the actual bar, but then what you're seeing is like on your headset. So you can take off your headset and like see the person in real life, or you can keep on the headset and like see that avatar at the bar in person. I don't know. This is like the beginning. This is probably how they were talking like 20 years ago when they were talking about video games and making everything better and just making like people's virtual life in a video game fun. Like Grand Theft Auto is like one of the more fun games to play. I remember when I was in 8th grade, like all I would do is like go around, shoot people with my gun, whatever, and go in planes and jump out of them and not really complete the missions, but just do stuff that like, I don't know, you can do in a video game and like not get in trouble. Because like in real life, if I were to go around freaking shooting people and whatever, that would be an issue.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, guys, just the Christmas year over here, New Year's coming in. What are your guys' New Year's resolution? Huh? You guys want to lose 10 pounds? You guys want to make more money? You guys want to find the love of your life? Whatever. You guys using dating apps, by the way? I'm curious to know, how has your dating app game been? Are we going to shut down again? I would be pissed if we shut down again. It's like all over the place. There are no real rules. I feel like I saw that the Apple stores, they're closing all 12 of their New York City locations down for in-customer shopping. I imagine that you can like go to a window and pick up your iPhone or computer or whatever, but like comedy clubs are still open. The Nets are still playing the Sixers as of right now, as I'm telling you this, in Brooklyn tonight. But I mean, today I'm not recording exactly on Thursday, so we'll see what happens with that. But like, things are moving on as planned in some parts of the city and then not in others. It's just like so iffy. You can never really like, oh, this is the full thing to do or this is not the full thing to do. Because like we definitely can't shut down as a city. We can't do that, because businesses cannot afford to be shut down. We just have too many people that rely on getting paid on a weekly basis. While I think that like wearing masks and getting your vaccination, I mean, that'll probably speed this Omicron thing along, right? I hope that all the Ted Jones comedy shows in January go off without a hitch. If you guys don't know those dates, they are January 10th, January 24th, and January 28th. Just check the link in this YouTube video, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and we'll get you to Ted Jones Comedy Show. But if you're not at a Ted Jones Comedy Show, I look forward to maybe having one of those Ted Jones Comedy Shows in the Metaverse. That'd be cool. You know, like I saw Justin Bieber also did a performance in the Metaverse where he had like all of these little micro things attached to his body. And then like as he was moving, it was like, I got my peaches out in Georgia. You know what I mean? He was just dancing around and it looked cool. But I think virtual and real life are going to mesh together to a point where sometimes you won't maybe even be able to tell the difference. Do you guys remember those Apple glasses? Like I don't know if these were actually real or this is just like a prototype, like the little glass, the Apple glass. And you can't even tell if like if somebody's filming you or whatever. Snapchat came out with that a few years ago. The Snapchat goggles. I don't know really how well they did, but they had like little cameras on the side of them. So it's really going to be interesting to see how this world is in 5 years. You know, like in the past 2 years, Bitcoin has 5x'd. Like 2 years ago at this time, Bitcoin was like $9,500. And now it's around $50,000. Like imagine if that happens again. Like if Bitcoin 5x's from this point. Well, not exactly 5x. You know, 9,000 to 50,000 is like 5.5x. You know what I mean, guys. I'm not a human calculator. But if Bitcoin 5x's from the point we are right now in 2 years, Bitcoin will be 250,000. That'd be fresh. And you guys shouldn't hate on people who are in the crypto game right now. Like I had said, I'm probably 70p in. And the thing is, people are like, oh, well, you're being too risky with the crypto. Like, if I lose that 70% of my net worth in crypto, like, it would suck a lot. But I'm prepared to lose it. One of my buddies said he spent, like, $14,000 in the metaverse on some virtual land. I mean, is that going to be worth a lot? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But I'm not in the biz right now of spending $250,000 on a crypto NFT or spending thousands of dollars on the metaverse land because I don't really understand it right now. But something like Bitcoin, Ethereum, I understand the network. And seeing this video, this lady spending 24 hours in the metaverse. By the way, you guys can Google this or search it on YouTube. Spending 24 hours in the metaverse. I believe it was like a Business Insider woman. Just had this headset on for 25 hours. She took it off when she was sleeping. But like, living in the universe. And also when you pay attention to TV for too long or on your phone for like 5 hours a day, it hurts your eyes. You get a headache. Do you guys relate to that? Like if I spend too much time on my phone or I'm on like watching TV for an extended period of time, my neck starts to hurt. My brain starts to hurt. So I'm interested to see how that will work. Maybe our eyes and our heads in terms of having a headache will adjust to that. Because we've already spent so much time just looking at our computer screens, just hunched over. But I think it's going to be good for society. You know, like every 20 years, we're doing new shit, which is cool. You know, 1950s, 1960s, we were like, oh, let's go to the drive-thru, get some McDonald's, get a cheeseburger and fries for $0.25. Cheeseburger, fries, and a milkshake for $0.25. Something like that. But then we realized 20 years after that, you know, in the 90s, 20, 30 years after that, it's not good for you. It's like smoking cigarettes. Back in the 70s, doctors were like, we recommend you smoke at least a pack a day. Maybe not 70s, but like 60s, Camels were hot. You know, every 20 years, we're kind of realizing, all right, this is not the right way to do it. Let's do it this way. And one of the main things that I think has come in its cycle is how much we're eating meat. I think like ever since the Industrial Revolution and we were really able to friggin' make 500 chicken wings per second in like a factory or in a chicken coop, like really expedited how much we eat meat. Like I used to eat meat so much, guys. Like no joke, I was eating meat at least 7 times a week. I mean, every day for lunch I was getting chicken or a turkey sandwich, or at night maybe I was having a burger or steak. But like it really is so easy to eat meat every single day. And like people ask how I transitioned from eating meat at least once a day to not eating any meat in general. I think I've had it a little bit easier. I don't want to say I had it easier, but like I had invasive jaw surgery, for those of you who don't know. And if you guys have watched a vlog or the podcast, you know I've talked about this many times, but I had TMJ, which is basically like a side of your face. Like my gum line was depleting. So I look like this a little bit, kind of when I smiled. I was like, it wasn't so noticeable. If you're watching here on YouTube, it was like kind of had a sideways face, but invasive ass surgery. I couldn't eat anything solid for like 3 months after the surgery. I can barely chew month 2 after the surgery. So crazy surgery. Broke my jaw in 3 places. Shout out Dr. Hannah if you guys want to get face surgery, you hit me up. No, but seriously, in terms of like, I broke my jaw in 3 places, and getting back into chewing meat, chicken, just was like not an option. So month 3, 4, I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with meat, and I just switched. So, I mean, a little bit easier for me because I kind of had to, and I wouldn't have been able to even eat meat till like month 5 or month 6. So I was eating oatmeal, switching to smoothies, and then I just slowly transitioned to the chickpeas, beans, the rice, the seitan, the tofu, the potatoes, French fries being my favorite food, the nachos, the vegan foods, the vegan burritos. And if you live in New York City, your options are getting bigger. Does that make sense? Your options are getting more. There are more options in the cities, what I mean to say. And also in cities, I think all around the country, we're seeing a lot more vegan actions. You go across the pond to the UK, we're having a lot more people that are drinking vegan milk, eating vegan foods, more options over there. But I think it's just going to keep piling on in the United States, where we have more vegan restaurants, because it's not sustainable, guys. You know this. I mean, you've heard this many a times. One of the crazier movies I just saw was Don't Look Up. If you guys haven't seen this on Netflix, I highly recommend you watch it. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep, some of my favorite people for show, Jennifer Lawrence in the movie as well. But I'll give you a summary without kind of spoiling it. The scientists find out that a comet is coming towards Earth, and we have 6 months to live, but nobody's taking it serious, and it becomes a political issue. The Republicans are shouting like, don't look up, because you can actually see the comet coming in like 2 months before it's supposed to crash into Earth, and people are making the comet like a social issue when the comet could be conceived as, in real life, as global warming, as corona, stuff like that. Like, we just don't want to believe that coronavirus is a thing, maybe on some social issues, or that global warming is not really a thing, and how we're eating and how we're living is not affecting global warming. But it's kind of like, it's weird because it's almost like a documentary. I don't want to say that it is a documentary because it's absolutely not, but if you use what they're talking about in the film as like a metaphor for how we're living now, it's fucked. It's absolutely fucked. Are we screwed? We're close to being screwed. If you guys have been to Union Square recently in New York City, you'll see that we have 7 years until like everything is like completely non-reversible. They have like a big clock in Union Square with all those numbers. It says 7 years. And like one of the big things that we can do to really stop the process and stop us from heating up here, global warming, is stop eating meat. You're producing a lot of freaking greenhouse gases. Not using straws is not going to do shit. Think about how many animals you save per day not eating a cheeseburger. Or think about how many friggin' cows are in a cheeseburger, guys. Try those Beyond Burgers. Impossible Burgers. This is not even an ad for them. I'm just saying. You feel better. Maybe you think it's like a little bit salty, but there are so many vegan burgers these days. Mr. Prager's Perfect Burger has less salt. Google it. Check out the cheese. I know that you guys love cheese. I used to love cheese. But now I just love vegan cheese. You think about like one thing that you couldn't live without if you were a vegan. Whatever, go vegan besides that one specific thing. And just try and make steps that help the earth. Because like recycling is not going to do shit. Ultimately on your footprint, yes, recycling is great for the environment, sure. But like what we are eating really has an effect. It really does. And like, how well the FDA, is it the FDA, Food and Drug Administration? It might be the FDA. How well they have covered all these unhealthy things for us for so long. And like now you see Dr. Fauci on TV. I talked about this the other day. You hear him saying, everybody get your shots, get 3 shots, and wear your mask and distance. Not once has he been like, Go outside, get some sun. Don't eat so much food. Exercise. You know, I've never heard him once say that. I don't know why he hasn't said that. That would maybe make him like more credible if he was saying things that like a health nutritionist doctor would say, not just somebody who's telling you to get your shot and then everything will be all right. Get your shot and then you could be part of society again. So scary thoughts, scary time. I don't know, man. Jeez. I'm going to continue moving about how I've been moving, you know, with a mask on, most places inside. I do have 3 shots. I am young. I am healthy. Guys, we got to live. You know, quarantine, I feel like, is not an option unless you really have coronavirus. And then they said if they went from 15 days in isolation to 10 days, and now all of a sudden it's 5 days in isolation. They say that if you don't have symptoms, it's 5 days in isolation. So maybe that's a valid, you know, a valid time frame. But also they're saying that it's more of a cold. But this is what I said 2 years ago, whenever coronavirus was, guys. I don't even remember. I'm getting my days mixed up. 2020 and 2021 have been 2 extremely hard years, and I can only feel for you guys if you really have had a tough year, because it's been difficult. You know, whether you're working a job and you got furloughed or you're still making money, God bless you. But it's been tough for a lot of people. So just know that somebody out there always has it better than you, and somebody always has it worse, guys. Just be grateful. Look to your fellow family members for love, and look to your friends for love, of course, guys. You always got to look everywhere for love, okay? And without further ado, let's get to a listener email. All right, nice. Here's a good one. We have Vijesh from India. Hey there, Ted. Just came across your profile and podcast. I'd love it if you came to India. Do you have plans to come over here anytime soon? Please let us know. Vijesh. All right, Vijesh, do not have any plans to come to India unless there's a check to be had, guys. I can always be paid to come to you. You just let me know, tedjonesworld@gmail.com. And, guys, we still have the Ted Jones comedy shows on for this month, January 10th, January 24th, January 28th. And if you guys cannot make it to a Ted Jones comedy show, don't worry. You check out the Ted Jones vlog on the Ted Jones World YouTube channel, because we put all the Ted Jones vlog comedy shows there as well. We did not hear back from my dad this episode. And, Dad, if you're listening, I don't know, bro. Be quicker with your phone. We'll see you guys for episode 200. L'chaim. Peace.